comes to the Western policy, and they do not exclude necessarily United States or Northern America by no way, there are narratives that whenever the Western countries, including United States, England, you name it, or just countries like Germany or France, they collaboratively invaded a Middle Eastern country, it ended in a catastrophe.
Mhm.
They recall the situation in Syria, just what happened after the collapse of the Bashar Assad regime. They go back, they look at the situation in Libya, they go back even further, they look at the situation in Iraq in 2003. They even talk about, look at that, what the chaos is uprising now, right now, erupting now in Mesoamerica, in Venezuela, when they just captured the Maduro, who was definitely a cartel leader and a hub. His country was a hub for the Islamic terrorism, for Hezbollah, for the Houthis, for Hamas. And now they say that the Western countries are hesitating to act because they don't want that the history repeats. Sectarian movements would uprise in the country, and that Iran would be a second Iraq, a second Syria. How much does it say about the knowledge of the people from the West about Iran when they compare Iran with Syria, with Libya, with Venezuela even, or with Iraq?
Very good question. Let me approach it from two different angles. One of them is I don't want, and I think, Farshid, you don't want any kind of boots on the ground in Iran. It's not going to be productive. It may even harm us. What we want is US help to neutralize the suppression machine of the Islamic regime. It can be done by some smart military movement, electronic war, psychological war, freezing their bank accounts, trying to cause troubles for their leaders and their families inside and outside of Iran. These are things that US can do. And weaken that really weakens the strength of the Islamic Republic to suppress and oppress Iranian people. That and contribution to removal of killers of people, the leaders, the commanders of the security forces, uh, Revolutionary Guards leaders, all of those can help to really smash this gun machine, which has assassinated people and killed people in the past few weeks, and 3 years ago, and 5 years ago, and 8 years ago in different uprisings. So that's something. We don't want the American soldiers on Iranian soil. It's not going to help at all. But the second approach is what happened in Iraq during the George Bush time, what happened in Afghanistan during the George Bush, what happened in Syria 2014 during Obama time, and Libya during Obama and Hillary Clinton, her foreign secretary in that time. This comparison technically is not correct with current Iran. Libya, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Jordan, Lebanon, Yemen, a bunch of these countries, excluding Afghanistan, which is the other side of the Iran, all of them have become countries after the First World War, when Ottoman was disintegrated into little pieces and bits, and the winners of the war, Great Britain and France, decided to make countries out of these lands. So They made Saudi Arabia, Syria, Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon, Kuwait, and so on. So these are countries which were formed by contracts. British politicians, French politicians sat in several meetings and they draw lines on the map and say, okay, east of Jordan River should be Hashemite or Jordan. West of it and Lebanon and the current Israel should be under mandate of Britain. Syria should be under mandate of France. Suez Channel should be under supervision of British government and French government together. Iraq went to Britain. Saudi went to Britain. So these countries are not historical countries. With all respect to their current independence and national identity, historically, technically, they were not countries. Iran has been a country, and Iranian recognize themselves as Iranian, belong to this national identity from centuries ago. We are talking about at least with the current name and current border, or even bigger border than the current Iran, from beginning of Sassanid dynasty. So we are talking about 19 centuries ago. With the exactly conception of and realization of the nation.
Statehood. Yes, exactly.
Nation statehood and nation state, which later on in 19th century in Europe was introduced to the European nation. So therefore, the feelings of belonging to this state is there among Iranians, regardless of their religion or mother language or whatever they have. These 90 million feel it. You don't have it, and you didn't have it before in Iraq when they had these courts with Arab Shia and Arab Sunni and Turkmens and Assyrian. Okay, you guys now are compatriots. You are one country, yeah? Or same for the Syria, same for Afghanistan in east of Iran. Therefore, we are talking about two different categories here. It's not comparing apple with apple. So the chance of civil war or disintegration or catastrophe, things like that in Iran is almost zero because of its nature. And second of all, nobody wants, and even I think President Trump doesn't want it, that the American soldiers want to invade Iran. What we want is their smart move to remove those people who have been in charge of killing people, and they can still kill people as long as they are in charge.